What's up, y'all? My name is Kree. I have a webcam, I have a microphone, I have zero event tops, and I have an opinion about these new time rules. Because that just means I'm definitely never getting an event top, alright? So, the TLDR of these new time rules is basically for every event, instead of 45-minute rounds, you get 50-minute rounds. However, whether it is game 1, 2, or 3, if time on the round is called and you are still in play, you get a loss and your opponent gets a loss for that round, right? So, Yu-Gi-Oh players are petty creatures, right? So, what this basically means is if I sweep someone game 1 through some miracle, and game 2 they decide I'm going to be petty. I'm just gonna reasonably slowly play out the rest of this game, okay? As we get closer and closer to that 50-minute mark, maybe the life points haven't really changed too dramatically, but perhaps we've just been going tit for tat. Neither of us can put lethal on board, and I'm clearly in a winning position. My opponent, however, decides, nah, you're going to have to do 8,000 damage or you're not getting the W. I do not care. I will take you down with me. That is kind of going to be the end result of these time rules all in all. Thankfully, most of my games that I have, I think I've gone into time with the new time rules like maybe once or twice since they've been implemented. Well, previous time rules. And that was 45 minutes. 50 minutes should be enough time for you guys to finish out your matches decisively, because most players, not all, will respectfully know when a game is lost. However, there is that 5% of players that decide, me lose? No, we lose. Game 1 took 30 minutes. Game 2 took 15. Game 3, it's time to play it out. It's time to figure. You got 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes before time on the round is called, and then we are both losers. Okay. That being said, y'all, there is also the 5 minutes after the round is up to turn in your match slips. Which, by the way, if you guys aren't just turn in your match slips. Don't. Come on. I'm trying to get out of here. Trying to be swift. And then there's the whole top 8 thing, which is, y'all heard me in the intro. I got no top, so I really don't have an opinion on that. It sucks that we're not going to be able to see a lot more top cut feature matches. However, I kind of get it from a standpoint, because venues, you can only book them for so many hours, and you gotta get them out of there. So it's unfortunate that a lot of the top 64 players aren't going to have a chance to win it out, but you know what? Swiss rounds just got a lot more important. So, first place at the end of day 1 of Swiss, you're looking pretty good. However, I'm curious to see for the larger scale events with 1 to 2,000 players, if we ever get those again with these time rules, but that's a whole other discussion. Curious to see if how many X2s can break into top 8. That's going to be interesting, especially with the tiebreakers. But with that being said, y'all, this has just been Kree with short little gabbing and yapping about the new time rules. Overall, we'll see how it goes. If your local opponent is holding you as a prisoner at your regional or your YCS, judge my opponent is not playing at an appropriate pace to play. You cannot force your opponent to surrender, just so you know. So I don't know, maybe game 2 and 3, I'm going to just side in the Tenpai and beat people in 5 minutes if they decided they want to take a whole 30 to try and get the job done.